Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. Welcome to today's Shotsuki monthly memorial service. My name is Amy Tomine, and I will be the chairperson for today. Reverend Fujimoto will read the names of those who've passed away in the month of June. Those observing the monthly memorial for loved ones, please come forward and offer incense.
Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. I always appreciate having our Shotsuki service and the families who are able to come attend to honor the people they have lost in their families, and to have the opportunity to come up and offer incense. So please do so as I read the names for the month of June. Abe, Alice. Abe, Yutaka. Akiyama, Hisao. Akiyama, Kazuji. Baba, Moshiro. Aidman, Kazuko. Enomoto, Chie. Ferguson, Zachary. Fudena, Kiichi. Hara, Ronald. Hatakeda, Shigeo. Hayashiyama, Tokuhei. Hitomi, Mitsuko. Hitomi, Toichi. Ikeda, Minoru. Ishihara, Masao. Ishikawa, Hiroshi. Imura, Yone. Inoue, Yoshiharu. Iwahashi, Tatsujiro. Kamiya, Iwami. Kato, Chio. Kato, Yoshiko. Kawahara, Kyoko. Kimura, Shizuko. Koga, infant, Kenichi. Kuge, infant, Ikuo. Kusada, Midori. Maruyama, infant, Kiyomi. Maeda, infant, Goro. Minami, Fuji. Nakagawara, Mitsuyo. Nakamura, Oko. Nakata, Alice. Shiozaki, Risuke. Shiroishi, Soutaro. Sueyasu, Matsutaro. Sueyasu, Takiyo. Nakayama, Takeshi. Narahara, Tomiko. Natsuhara, Mosaburo. Nuyen, Thandoi. Ninomiya, infant, Hisae. Nose, Tozo. Obata, Hatsuye. Okada, Masa. Okamoto, infant, Lin. Ozeki, Hatsuyo. Saito, Kaori. Sasaki, Sae. Shimada, Matsu. Shintani, Kyo. Shiota, Kame. Shiota, Reiko. Shiota, Shigeo, Takahashi Teruye, Takano Yasutaro, Takao Akiko, Teraji Kikumatsu, Terao Shizu, Toyota Sakutaro, Umene Miwa, Ushijima Pearl, Wald Naomi, Yamamoto Infants, Sadasachi, Yonenaka Infant, Tomi. Yoshimura Toyomi Tio. These are the Shotsuki names for the month of June. If there are additions or corrections, please notify the office.
We'll now have the Sambujo on page 24 and 25, followed by the reading of the Hyobyakumon, which is the purpose of the service.
Today, on the occasion of the Shotsuki service for the month of June, members of our temple families have reverently come before Amida Buddha in memory of their beloved. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the three homages. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Hope, Namu Amida Soul. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat the Nembutsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda.
Now we'll have chanting of Amida Kyo on page 103. Amida Kyo 103.
く毒水十万五中期待順に感謝無事自変界の根本ルーリありご上場うろ各役に根本ルーリあり社交社集名の二言直視自重連携大量者臨床式証拠公式横行釈式釈行略式略行民謡高血者理法国乱国道上重尿性空毒将軍類者理法非部国道上山天学黄金二次中夜六時二遊万だらけ広告修上上位昇誕各位英国上修上家無料他法十万六分即位直事件と本国本直教業社理法国ら国の上重量税空毒将軍物資者理法理国上中重奇妙雑誌新潮学校空弱大武者理下領便が愚名市長税商州長長夜六時水和慶安高音年長高根法力式法大軍小道文道政党行動修上門税音に大実年仏年法年祖社理法上没義新長実税法少少少位者が異部国道無三幕宗社理法公部国道小無三幕道寺廟画教武実税商州長大聖阿弥陀仏力量大温泉流園芸少佐社理法異部国道利福水道小法高中九法羅網水未妙二妙百千中各領事空さ門税四社大事年上念仏年法年相死心社理法大部国道上重量税空毒将Amanda
Please stand for Gatha Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu on page 174 in your purple book. Page 174, and remain standing for the reading of the golden chain on page 15.
Golden chain number 1 on page 15. We'll read this together. I am a link in Amida's golden chain of love
that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Please be seated.
Now, Reverend Fujimoto will give a Dharma talk.
Okay, good morning again. Today I was going to talk about washing the dishes. So we've had a couple visitors here in the last week or 10 days, and people ask on occasion to come in and visit and maybe see the temple and meet me, learn about the temple, ask questions about Buddhism. And so right now we have at our temple trying to build up again our membership committee and our outreach committee, and these are all part of the similar process. So it's always interesting to have people come in and to try to make them feel welcome and comfortable here. And so one person in particular came in and had become interested in Buddhism and doing readings in Tibetan and Zen Buddhism and going to different groups and sitting in on their sessions. His parents were Pure Land Buddhist in the Chinese tradition, and so, but maybe because of the language difficulties, things were not explained to him as what their practice is, what their beliefs and understandings are. They didn't go to the temple regularly, so some of the rituals he knew, and happy to do them as part of the family, doing things that the parents had asked of him, how we carry ourselves as we enter, offering incense and all these things that we see here as well. But at the same time, not having it explained to him, he kind of felt like some of the things were more like superstitions rather than beliefs and understandings and awareness. So he had interest in Buddhism, but he was looking elsewhere. And it was very nice to have him explain that he had just lost his father in the last few months, and going through that caregiving and trying to tend to his father's last needs, and he knew that his father would be comforted in hearing the chanting, Sutra Chanting. So he bought a tape that would loop a chanting that his father would be familiar with and comfortable with, and so doing these things from his family tradition. Not so sure that he was completely accepting of these things, but as his responsibility, duties to his family, to his father, he's happy to do all of these things, and making his father more comfortable made him more comfortable and fulfilled. So he was sharing some of these things, and we visited for about half an hour talking about things, and I explained our altar and what's up here and the connection for Japanese, the Pure Land teachings of Shin Buddhism, how it came here to America with the first generations of settlers coming here, no matter what background we may have. We all come from someone, from somewhere. People came to establish a life in America, and for the most part, people came trying to find a better life, right? If you were happy and had plenty of conditions, good conditions where you were, you're probably not leaving, right? The exception was probably the Buddha, who left his kingdom to go somewhere else. But for the most part, people, the first generation of Japanese coming from Japan, they came from areas very strong in Shin Buddhism, and this is why we have so many Shin Buddhist temples here. So I explained some of those things to the young man, and then at the end I invited him to come to the bazaar, come to the Obon, and then in that way you can see what kinds of things the temple does, and he could see who's doing them, right? And so he would be able to feel and sense this sense of Sangha. He said what he did not find, studying on his own, reading on his own, and going to these places, he didn't have any sense of belonging, a sense of Sangha. So I thought if he came to these events that are right around the corner, maybe he will sense that, and we're very good with that here, right? So hopefully he'll be able to come and maybe bring his family. He has a young 3-year-old child, and maybe they'll come and enjoy and appreciate not only the festivities and all the fun, all the food, but kind of feeling what this temple is about. Because he wanted to know, what else do we do? Do we do community things? Do we participate? What kind of things we do? So told him about the food drive, cleaning up the beach that the Dharma school did recently, and things that we participate here. And so he's very happy to hear that. So nice to be able to share those things, and I think it's critical for our temple, for all of us, that people are coming, people are interested in Buddhism, maybe not so sure how to step into it, but we always try to make people feel welcome, whether it's at the bazaar or coming here to the temple. So I have a quote to read. Please join me in Gassho. We should not express outwardly signs of wisdom, goodness, or diligence, for inwardly we are possessed of falsity. We are filled with all manner of greed, anger, perversity, deceit, wickedness, cunning, and it is difficult to put an end to our nature. What is given by Amida Buddha constitutes our aspirations. It is all true and real. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu. So this is a quote from Shindan Shonin, and just before the cemetery visitations, we had a Gotan as service here. Mr. Dennis Terao was our speaker, and Gotan is the birthday of our founder, Shindan Shonin. So he wrote this, and I think it's very telling of what he felt. You know, he went into the monastic life. It was a difficult time, but you know, at 9 years old, he had to leave his family, his parents, mother and father, and entered the priesthood to go up to Mount Hiei to live the life of a monk. Okay, and he accepted this new monastic life, working hard, studying very hard, and advancing in rank and status as a monk. So he went through all these things kind of out of respect for his parents, for his family, to show himself very well. But he was still, in this quote, you could tell, you know, he did all these things. He got accolades for his study and his advancement. So still, he could see in himself these two sides outwardly, signs of wisdom, goodness, diligence. Inwardly, you know, still he had this greed, anger, deceit, wickedness. So these two sides of himself. And I think we all have that. It's nice to get praise when we do something well. You know, maybe you're younger and unexpectedly you wash the car for your father and you say, oh, he's so happy. Thank you so much. And you just feel so proud that you did something nice, you know. But at the same time, you wanted that pat on the back, right? And you wanted to do something so you would get your reward in a sense. So we have these two sides. All of us have these two sides. And this is the quote, what he is saying. So thinking about that, I remember reading book by Reverend Kubose from Chicago, and maybe a number of us have read some of his books earlier in our lives, and he was recalling a time when the student was asking his master, you know, please teach me more about Buddhism, and the master asked him, have you eaten? Did you eat yet? He said, yes, I ate. Then wash the dishes. And this was his response to him. He wanted to know about Buddhism. He said, did you eat? Wash the dishes. Okay? So he's trying to point out that naturalness is doing what comes next. Just do what comes next, okay? And Kubose Sensei says, clouds appear, we notice them, and then they drift away. The water flows to the next level, the lower level. You know, the water, the river looks the same, but this water that we are observing is different than the river water that we observe next or tomorrow. So everything moves on in this continuous natural flow. And he's pointing this out. The master is pointing this out. Kubose Sensei is pointing this out. Okay, so he pointed out that everything we do, you know, there's major events that happen in our lives, and some of them are huge things, like the gentleman who lost his father, something happened. Shindan Shonin leaving his family to go into the monastery, and major things happen to all of us. But most of life is made up of little things connected one after another, with all these little things. And Kubose Sensei is saying, do every little thing 100%. Okay. So all these little things are connected. To pay attention to what we are doing. Don't just think about something major in our lives, something coming up next, something that already happened, but be where you are now. focus on these little things that we do. Do everything sincerely and completely. So he points out that a Buddhist life is a life of no regrets. So if we do every little thing as well as we can, we won't have little regrets. So we face our lives, we live our life. Hard times are to be endured, happy times are to be enjoyed, and we live just like this, up and down. Okay. He wrote another section saying, every day is a good day. Okay. And he has describing this calligraphy that was written by Ondokusan that he had hanging in his work area, written in Japanese, but basically it says every day is a good day, and it's pointing out that the day itself is a good day, but what our own expectations are make them a bad day or not a good day. And he's talking about farmers who, maybe they need the water to come down. So they're hoping for rain to come and water the crops so they'll have moisture, they'll be able to grow. But at other times, maybe another farmer chops down his alfalfa and he needs it to dry. Then the rain falls and ruins the whole thing. So I remember many times in the Northwest, in Ontario area, talking about gambling or going to Reno or something like this, and it's kind of like enjoyment, life enjoyment, to go relax, get away from it all, and play some cards or slot machine or something. And what the farmers are saying, that's nothing. We're gambling every day of our lives. We don't know what's going to come. Our whole season might be ruined just because of an inopportune rain. Or maybe there's no water at all in all our plans, everything for the whole season. So they're not talking about couple $1,000 playing at a table. They're talking about, $10,000, $50,000 just down the drain, or maybe it's successful. And this is gambling every day of their lives. So the perspective changes depending on what. And so the day itself, every day is a good day. But depending on what we attach to it, how we live our lives, what we are hoping for, what we identify with, these are the things that make us look at it as this was a bad. So then finally, another similar chapter, but says, every day is the last day. So he had a group of students come in, and they're asking him questions, maybe similar to the couple people that came to sit in here, asking me questions and sharing their parts of their lives, and I'm doing the same. And he said a student came to the temple, and they wanted to talk about Buddhism, and one of them asked, what is the Buddhist way of life? So Kubose Sensei says, to live each day most beautifully, most meaningfully. Okay. So again, he's having them focus on each day, how you live this life. Okay. Not worried about things later on. Another student asked him, what happens? What is the Buddhist idea? What happens when you die? And he tells them, well, the Buddha didn't really address those kinds of questions. There are certain questions that the Buddha did not address. And the point that the Buddha was making is to focus on how we live each moment. Each moment. So each present moment is the most precious moment. This one we have now. And in that sense, each day is the last day. Each moment is very precious. And so he's trying to convey this to the students that were visiting him. So I think this is a good reminder, and as we are confronted, we consider these truths, lessons, And all the more when we come to a Shotsuki service, we think about the people we have lost, and this is what they teach us, right? Life is impermanent. Life is not forever. They have impacted my life, and because of them, I have this opportunity for me to live this life today. And so, even though we lost, we don't get stuck in the grieving, but we come back to how do we live our lives, our next forward, go with more meaning, more depth, more direction, because of the people we have lost. Okay. So I think one of the very healthy things here at the temple is that we look very squarely at life and death, and through this we learn these types of lessons. I think if our awareness of life and death is deep and sincere, then our Nembutsu, Namu Amida Butsu, becomes profound. Our mind is settled into very deep appreciation of the Buddha's compassion moving towards us. So this movement of compassion doesn't mean this Buddha gives me something, but we receive in so many different ways, from the air we breathe, the water we drink, all these things coming to us, and this is compassion, allowing us to live this life. Right? So this is what they're calling, we are constantly embraced by the Buddha. Okay? Embraced by this reality that surrounds us. So as we recognize that we are receiving all these things, then compassion received is reciprocated. Okay? We are given the words, Namu Amida Butsu, words from the infinite, calling us to connect, calling us to reconnect to a greater part of ourselves. We come from this infinite, and we connect back to this infinite. So we step away, we're asked to step away from our created world, our created identity, and to recognize that we are a part of a greater whole, a part of what is called Amida. Okay. So we eat, we wash the dishes, we receive, and we reciprocate. We live each day beautifully, meaningfully. And this is the process that we live as Shin Buddhists. Please join me in Gassho. We should not express outwardly signs of wisdom, goodness, diligence, for inwardly we are possessed of falsity. We are filled with all manner of greed, anger, perversity, deceit, wickedness, and it is difficult to put an end to our evil nature. What is given by Amida constitutes our aspirations. It is all true and real. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namanda. I thank you.
Thank you, Sensei, for your Dharma message. It makes me think that it's true, you could read all the books you want on Buddhism and listen to lectures, but it's when you get together with the Sangha, that's when it makes a difference. So when you come to the temple, you just start feeling the Buddhism just because it's all around. So tell your friends to come too, because there's just a lot of good energy here. Sensei made me think of the second thing I wanted to share was that someone wrote that we live two lives, and the second life begins when you realize you only have one life. So make each moment count. Please stand for Gatha Ondokusan 2 on page 220. 220. Thank you to all the people who made the service possible. I think Reverend Dennis for sure. Brian is handling the YouTube, so this could be on YouTube. Altar Flowers, Jane, organist Lenny, and all the people who brought refreshments to share today. Do we have any newcomers or visitors today? And if so, please stand up and let's meet you. Oh, visiting from Taiwan. Welcome. Welcome. Yes?
I'm Lisa, and I'm just open to seeing what is, something that as is, and just kind of stop blocking my flow and just being open.
Oh, great.
Really wonderful service.
Great. Thank you for coming. Let's see. So announcements. Next Sunday, June, is graduation and diversity service, and June birthdays. There will be no services for 3 weeks because June 14th and 15th is Bazaar Prep, and believe it or not, we get hundreds of people come out. You know, they're part of the temple, the community, so if you could come out and help, that would be good. And then the following is our church bazaar, which is June 21st and 22nd. Tell all your friends to come, and please come. And Sunday, June 29th, is the 5th Sunday, and there'll be no service. On July 6th, there'll be a Shotsuki monthly memorial service for people who passed away in July. And some of you know Vinny. You remember Vinny, who used to come from Methodist Church and join us and help us. Well, she passed away in Fiji a couple weeks ago, I think. And anyway, we kind of organized, and Judy at the Methodist Church is going to have a service on the 22nd, which is our bazaar. It's a Sunday at 2 o'clock, and you might want to attend over at the Methodist Church. Vinny had just some stomach problems and had some surgeries and just didn't recover from the surgeries. Also, if anybody is going to bring koden, Judy and I were saying that maybe if it's a check, it should be made out to the Buena Vista Methodist Church or cash, and then she will collect it all and then have the church wire it. And we're not even sure who we're going to make it out to, but that would be better. If you're going to bring koden, you don't have to. So, any other announcements? Okay, well, thank you for attending this morning's service. Come up in Oshoko, and then there will be refreshments in the social hall. Thank you.